G'day guys, Gordon again from Blue Tongue Industries. I want to talk a bit of hibbity-jibbity, and I wanted to go over pressure cleaning, pressure washing fittings, talk different couplings, and I want to talk quarter, 3/8, different applications, because the amount of times I get asked or questions get dropped, I need to build this or I need a fitting, and I'll ask what size and how you would like to assemble that piece of equipment. The answers and responses I get back is people don't generally have a good understanding, and I'd like to share my 5 cents worth, and let's go through all these particular fittings and nut out some key questions and give you some key answers. So across all the fittings and couplings, there's different thread styles and types. National pipe thread, NPT, garden hose thread, which often catches a lot of people out. There's M22, which is metric, BSP, British Standard Pipe, and that is in parallel and tapered. Let's take a closer look and dive in. So garden hose thread, you'll see this particular fitting at the inlet of most pressure washers today. So you can't go to your local hardware shop to buy this particular fitting, even though it looks like a standard household fitting. So this is directly related to the pressure cleaning industry. So one question I'll ask when we're setting up a pressure cleaner, or if an established business does come to us, is what type of couplings and fittings are you using? Are you using Quick Connect, which will come in quarter and 3/8, M22, a threaded style of coupler, or the K series, which we call a premium end, and we'll take a closer look. So M22 fittings, mentioned previously, are a screw-on coupler. So they have an O-ring and a backup ring, which is a general consumable, and we can see all the corresponding M22 fittings throughout the range, and they'll vary depending on male, female, for the different application, whether that's at the end of a lance, at the outlet of a gun, or on a surface cleaner attachment. M22, in my eyes, are probably a standard fit. They're robust, they won't let you down, have a few backup rings, a few O-rings, and is a pick of the bunch for us here at Blue Tongue Industries. I just wanted to talk thread sizes. So if you're on the phone in a different state and you're building or repairing something, and we ask what size fitting do you have. So let's take a quick look here. So we have, in these particular fittings, we have M22, we have 1/8, which is on a brand of surface cleaner, to this day and age, mainly the original Mosmatic, 1/8 thread. We have quarter, we have 3/8, and we have 1/2 inch. So the quickest way to establish what type of fitting it is measure it. So when we measure an M22 fitting, we're nearly 22 mil. So if I put the vernier across that fitting, we're nearly 22 mil as M22, a metric thread. So that's a common key fact and a good one to work out what type of fitting you have. And the M22 are all conversant to couplers and quick connects, or the mating piece, which we'll go through shortly. On the 1/8 thread, if we measure the outside, we're just above 10 mil. So if you have an injector or a plug as 10 mil as a nominal or a nozzle, that's a good point of reference for 1/8 thread. Quarter, very, very common. Threaded lances, and we'll take a in-depth look at these as well. And we're nearly 13 mil across the threads on a quarter fitting. 3/8, the majority of pressure cleaning fittings to this day and age are 3/8 couplers, female and male, and 3/8 we're about 16 mil. So 16.5 mil if we measure a 3/8 coupler. And then finally, 1/2 inch. And if we measure that, we're nearly 21 mil. So that's common nominal dimensions on sizes on fittings, and I wanted to go through now and show you different fittings and different combinations to make your life easier when repairing or building your own pressure cleaning system. So if I break this down and if we talk about M22 first, so M22 is a screw-on coupler. It has a backup ring and an O-ring, so it's often good to keep those as spares. So in this particular style, M22, if as a coupler, if we measure the thread, that is 3/8, so we're about 16 mil across that thread with a vernier as a point of reference. So we have a 3/8 coupler, we have another 3/8 coupler, and if we measure the inside diameter of that thread, we will pick it up as a 1/4 and roughly 12 mil on the inside of that. Here we go again, another coupler with a larger internal diameter thread, and that'll be 3/8 at 16 mil. So there's lots of different variations on these particular M22 couplers. 1/4, so 1/4 will be at the external of a pressure cleaning gun, and we're roughly about the 12 mil mark across the thread on that M22 coupler. So there's different configurations. We have, on this particular one, we have a 1/4 thread which will screw into a surface cleaner alike, and then on the other side we have the coupling mechanism, and if we measure across that will be M22. So that will go into the female side of that particular fitting, and it goes on and on and on. We have a internal threaded coupler which will be 1/4 internal thread, and on the outside of that will be 22 mil across that thread. So the M22 range is very, very robust, and once you get the hang of it, a couple of seconds to screw that fitting together or unscrew it to disconnect it. Having those couple of O-rings and backup rings, they don't sort of let you down in a fitting arrangement, and often in a lot of our pressure cleaning builds are a standard, and what we recommend here at Blue Tongue Industries. So moving right along, quick connects. So quick connects come in 2 different sizes, or 3 different sizes. So they'll come in 3/8, and they'll also come in 1/4. So we'll have female couplers, and then we'll also have plug arrangements in different configurations. So if we talk about a female coupler in 3/8, and that particular coupler will take a 3/8 plug, which we measured previously before. So that plug will engage into that female coupler, and we've measured the thread across that coupler to confirm. The back end of that coupler is also 3/8. So if we measure the diameter of that thread, that'll converse with a 3/8 coupler. So the couplers will come in female, internal thread, 3/8, and they'll also come in male, which will still take a 3/8 plug. Moving down from 3/8, we have 1/4. So the 1/4 female couplers, measuring in internal thread diameter, will give us a 1/4, and that'll take a 1/4 nipple in female, and also available in male. And going up from that, if you're high flow, they're also available in 1/2 inch, which we sort of dabble into the soft wash industry at higher flow rates, or larger pressure cleaners alike. So last in our range here today is the K series, and these are premium, and if you haven't used these before, you will pay a bit more, but they are the pick of the top of the tree. So they're a quick connect, and often they will take a lot higher pressure. So depending on the setup, the plug arrangements will be in male, female, with 1/4 thread, which we've mic'd up as around that 12 mil, and they'll screw onto different apparatus. The receptacles, the female receptacles, which will go into the outlet of a gun, are also 1/4 thread. So if we mic that up around the 12 mil, and It is quick and easy, and when you're flicking between different apparatuses, it's as simple as that. And in my eyes, they are premium, but you can't go past the K-Series. So we're going to walk down and I'm going to point out different fittings, and we'll highlight whether they're 3/8 or quarter, just to cement that in. Shut-off valves. So shut-off valves are something else within the range, and D10 is quite common. So if you're choosing a shut-off valve, the only reason you'll need a shut-off valve is if you have a surface cleaner that has the trigger gun assembly, the pressure gun built into the surface cleaner, or you're using a pressure pole and you need to flick between a lance and that particular surface cleaner or pressure pole. But if your pressure cleaning system is set up right, your gun is the shut-off valve. So if you have a surface cleaner where you can disconnect the gun from the handle assembly, you won't need a shut-off valve. So when you do choose your surface cleaner, do take that in mind, because all these shut-off valves are quite heavy. And do take note, really put this at the top of the agenda, they're all rated. So the particular D10 is just over the 3000 PSI mark. So if you're using it on a larger pressure cleaner, don't be, she'll be right mate. They are rated, and they are rated for a reason, and at what pressure they go bang. And I wouldn't like to be around when one does go bang, but it's very, very critical that you know what your equipment and the fittings are rated for. So on the D10, this particular one is set up for the Solartech cleaning industry, but it's 3/8. So if you're setting up a D10 shut-off valve and you would like a swivel arrangement, a Mosmatic swivel to go into the back of that, that is 3/8 thread, and we can mic that up and we'll know that that particular fitting will screw straight into the D10. But also with the shut-off valves in the higher pressure range, there's a couple of different variations and different prices to match. So this one's on a budget range with steel CAD plated surround, and it has quarter inlet and outlet, but at a higher pressure rating. And if we mic that up, we'll know we're about 12 mil internal diameter when you're choosing your fittings, and whether that's going to be quick connect into your hose line if you are using a shut-off valve is a key point when setting something up like this. There are so many fittings. Let's fly through a few of these just to give you a bit of an overview. So we have a joiner in brass, and if we mic that up, it'll be 3/8 at 16 mil either side. We have elbows in brass, and if we mic that, it's 16 mil internal. Mosmatic swivels will be 3/8 female and male, so miking that up. There's particular joiners which come in quite handy, 3/8 coupler to M22, 22 mil. The quick connects in 1/2 inch, so they are pressure rated as well for higher flow. We talked about the garden hose thread fittings, K-Series, filters, brass, quarter quick connects, downstream injectors. If you're in the brick cleaning industry, will be very familiar. They come in brass and stainless. And if we measure that particular thread on the injector side there, we're probably going to find that's 1/8, around 10 mil. M22 we brushed on. Different size threads, 3/8 on the back end. It'll be M22 thread for the coupling on the attachment there. These 3/8 quick connect couplers here, if you look at the back end, are actually quarter. So these are slightly different and used in a different scenario and application. All the K-Series fittings will be quarter thread, stabilising nozzles, which are primary for the car industry or long-range shooter tips. Extremely dangerous, have an internal nozzle, quarter, but the K-Series are all quarter thread on the outlet. If you're playing around with our M6 injectors, we have a quarter quick connect on the back, and these are super popular, and you can get these online today. So the M22, different fittings there. All the quick connect nozzles which are rated for your machine are classified as quarter quick connects. All the fittings will suit different flow rates. So we have 035, 04, 045, 050, and it keeps on going and going and going. So your particular machine is set up for a certain hole size, and that also needs to be taken note. Quarter quick connects with quarter thread on the back, 3/8 quick connects with 3/8 thread on the back, and we brushed over those before. We have M22 joiners here with 3/8 thread on the back, and M22 joiners here for if you're joining hoses together. M22, 22mm to 22mm. Quarter quick connects here, so we have quarter female thread inside. Miking that up, we've got 12mm with a quarter quick connect on the back. Stainless steel, very, very popular, quarter to quarter, 3/8 to 3/8, and then we go all different sizes here. We've got 3/8 to 1/2 inch, and it goes on and on and on. What have I got here? I've got, looking at that, I can't see, need my glasses, but I think that's quarter to 3/8 in that paper bag there, plastic bag. Elbows, we've got 3/8 elbows there, female to male, 1/2 inch. We've got 3/8 there with a 1/2 inch internal thread, different adapters there coming off hose reels. Bungs, if you're doing the pressure cleaning run around, we've got, they come in quarter and also 3/8. Brass joiners to joiners, 3/8 to 3/8. Different joiners here in quarter, they come in 1/2 inch, and it goes on and on and on. Nozzle assemblies are generally set with two different sizes, and nozzles are all hole sized like the quick connects to suit your particular machine. So we have 15 degree, 25 degree, 40 degree, pencil jet, but generally a nozzle assembly will be quarter thread, and miking that up, we've got 12mm on the outside. So they'll suit either dual lancers, we can couple them up for fixed lancers. Surface cleaner spray arms generally will take a quarter thread. So that is the nozzle assemblies across the range. Genuine Mosmatics will be 1/8. So that is a smaller diameter thread, and measured up, mic'd up around the 10mm. So if you've got a spray arm on a surface cleaner and it's genuine Mosmatic, whether a 2-arm or 3-arm, you'll be chasing those 1/8 nozzles, and they also come in different fan sizes and hole sizes when ordering those particular nozzles to suit that. We talked about O-rings for the quick connects for the M22s. They're a must to have in your toolkit going forward. 1 or 2 O-rings can save you getting the wet pants and keep you working for that particular day. Let's take a look at the pressure guns and run you through those sizes. So stainless steel lancers at the outlet of the gun are quarter thread, so miking that up again, we're going to get about the 12mm on the external of that thread. So when we look at all the stainless steel lancers, and lancers do vary, and they come up to the 2 metre mark, it's all quarter. So if we're choosing a coupling for the end of that particular lance and you don't know what coupling to get, we'll need a female coupler, and the thread size will be quarter. So it'll be a quarter quick connect coupler to go on to the end of that quarter lance. They come in, this is quite unusual, double quarter. So if you're running double turbo nozzles, this particular lance, it will be super aggressive. So if you're in the brick cleaning industry or roof cleaning industry, dual lances of that particular style are quite useful. Dual lance, variable lance is often we kit in part of our packages, and both those thread sizes in the top will also be quarter. So we'll put a foaming soap nozzle on the dump side, and then a pressure nozzle to suit the pressure cleaning specifications on the other side. So the back end of a dual lance will be, in 99% of the cases, will be quarter, and on this particular lance we have a quarter coupler screwed onto the lance, and we can't see the thread there, and we have M22 So this is set up to take an M22 screw-on female coupler to attach to this dual lance assembly. When we look at pressure cleaning guns in general, and they vary with brand and style and trigger feel, but they've standardised it, which is great. So the Vega Tough with a built-in swivel, all the inlets to a pressure cleaning gun assembly are 3/8. So if you're going to set that up as a plug or a quick connect coupler, it's personal preference what you have on the end of your hose to what you have on the end of the gun. Normally we put a plug in that, whether M22 or 3/8 quick connect, but if we mic that up there and look at that particular thread there, we're going to have 16 mil. So if you're choosing your particular fitting, it'll be 3/8 to match the inlet of the gun, and they're all the same. So on this particular one here, we can see a 3/8 plug screwed into that particular gun. And on this particular one, we have M22 screwed into that gun. So that'll be a 3/8 M22 fitting to screw into the bottom of that gun arrangement there. So the outlet of the gun are all standardised to make it easier. So it is all quarter 12 mil across the threads roughly there for the outlet of the gun. So if we're screwing a lance directly into the gun, which we've established just previously as quarter, that will screw straight into the outlet of the gun. Often if we are setting up lances, we like to have a disconnect at this particular point on the outlet of the gun. So if we are going to connect directly to a surface cleaner that has a removable gun, we can have either a K series, or I find the M22 is priced well, where we can have a female coupler coming out of the gun. So we'll have a female coupler screwing onto the conversant M22, which may be in this point a dual lance. So putting the particular coupler at this point, we can break the lance away and we can connect this to either a downstream injector or a surface cleaner alike. So just setting up your equipment to suit you and to work, I suppose, smarter, and as they say, not harder, can make you get that job done more quickly, and your time is your money. So that's key factors when you are playing around with this particular equipment and choosing the way and the fittings that you do have, or the way you will want to work and set up multiple bits within that business. So that was a bit of a information overload, but just knowing those key dimensions and being able to, when you are building your bit of pressure cleaning gear and you are ordering more spares or new bits and pieces to suit that bit of kit that you have, I hope this does help you. There's lots of other videos on our website and on our YouTube channel at Blue Tongue Industries. If you're not following us on the socials, drop us a look, because we post quite regularly on that. And that's sizing and pressure cleaning fitting choice. And I hope this helps, guys, and appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you on the next video.